Greetings, dear Aries. This one is for you. That's you over here. This is Tarot Illumination with your general report, March 2018. Now, you might have had a fairly decent ride coming out of February with the eclipses because the Aquarius Leo axis is pretty harmonious with you. But coming into March, that Virgo Pisces axis, there's going to be a full moon right at the beginning, okay? Virgo moon, Pisces sun, Pisces over in your natal 12th house, and the Virgo moon over in your natal 6th house. So it's very much about health and healing, deeply to do with love and healing at the deep soul level. I have a feeling that you're at the earlier parts of the month, you might be exposed to a lot of things that have been very, very, let's say, very, very deeply buried in terms of habits, lifestyle choices, perhaps long-term self-medicating, long-term neglect of this or neglect of that, in terms of like just good, healthy habits. And you might have a bunch of good habits already, but you're discovering all the habits that are not working for you, because especially with the big new moon that's going to be coming up in Pisces towards the end of March, I think the 17th, that's going to be a lot of light shining right in the middle end of your 12th house, which is the house of deep healing, the end of everything. It's the graveyard, it's the dumpster, it's universal love, and at the highest expression of Neptune, it's all about, universal love, how we are all one. Love is one thing. We're all made out of love and all that. But down here on Earth, it can also mean how things aren't working out in that regard if we've neglected ourselves and not loved ourselves. So we come unglued. We end up as the crippled alcoholic. We end up as the delusional, depressional so-and-so. We end up with debt and bankruptcy, or we end up with all sorts of messes that no matter how hard we tried, you end up with you end up looking at the trash can in front of you that is yours, that belongs to you. And is it overloaded with goop, or is it being cleaned out steadily? Can you take in more and then dump more? Do you know how to do all that stuff? It's very, very difficult energy to handle. My feeling is that the Neptune 12th house energy is some of the hardest to handle. So there's the Aquarius Leo stuff we talked about. All right, now going on here, this is March. Massive Pisces stellium. You see, we just did this for all the other reports too, so just doing it for you. Sun, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Chiron, all sitting there piling up towards the end of March. So you know what happens when you are living through 12th house energy for you, Aries? Just like all 12th house periods for all signs, it can be that point where everything feels as like it's all coming unglued, where it's, you know how plants are born and they blossom and they glow and then they kind of die off and they shrivel up. It's that kind of shriveling up energy where everything has come to its natural end, and it's supposed to just literally just merge into the dirt and the earth and then start all over again, because April and the Aries season is when you come back to life. It's going to be very exciting for you. But right now, this could be, you might feel depression. You might feel very frail. You might feel very fragile, very weak. You might get a lot of action replays, video replays in your brain about how you've messed up in life, in anything and everything over the last few years or the last few months, the last few weeks. But it's important to know that. Okay, you've got to reveal it to heal it. It's going to be so much emphasis with the Sun, Chiron, Neptune thing. Got to reveal it to heal it. And that's why we have hospitals. That's why we have doctors. That's why we have nurses, because a lot of us need a lot of TLC. And in the United States, the healthcare industry is really, really massive. And guess why? It's because there's a lot of people in pain here. I mean, it's so obvious. Think of it in terms of business, supply and demand. There's a reason there's so many hospitals and so many doctors here. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, Aries. I got Kind of carried away there. Jeepers, we haven't even started the reading yet. I'm sorry. Oops. Anyway, there we go. Cards are shuffled well in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry, we're already moving into the cut. Tarot Illumination is bringing TL angels here. Please bring your own angels too. All right, here we go. This is the core heart of you. The heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants, has to be nourished, has to be fed. It's up to you, Aries, to do that, okay? The heart can't do that on its own. You have to make conscious, deliberate steps. How am I going to take care of myself, love myself today, nurture myself today, so that my heart goes on to beat another day? What are you bringing in with you? All the excitement and the fun of having a whoopee time in February with the eclipses, or are you in shell shock from the eclipses? Are you bringing in past life karma issues? Whatever it is. Over here is the ever-present now, where a lot of us don't like to be, but you're going to be here, Aries. You kind of like being in the now. It's like being on the front lines because you know that's where your power lies. You already know that intuitively, instinctively. So that shouldn't be too hard for you to live in the now. No matter how challenging it might be for the Pisces 12th house energy, you're still going to be there. You're a fighter. You're a warrior, okay? The healing power of your decisions is activated in the now when you're fully conscious, okay? So how are you going to make these decisions in a way that's most loving for you so that you can be the most well-nourished, most loved person that you know, okay? That would be you. And make that your day job. And consequently, that would be the energy that is drawn to you by making decisions in a way that actually works for you. Loving yourself first like that. I'm not talking about narcissism or vanity. I'm talking about literally loving yourself, okay? A lot of people don't understand that or don't get it, but it's very, very important, okay? Now, when you're facing into what we call the future, yeah, maybe there's a lot we don't know. Maybe there's a lot that's scary going on. What if you mess up? Oh no, oh no. Even the great Aries can be a little intimidated at times. But what if you are in the zone and you're making decisions to nurture and love yourself properly, having discovered all of the stuff that's not working, how you've been your own worst enemy perhaps for years in so many aspects of your life, and how you resorted to unending versions of self-medication and poor habits in order to try and cover up the stuff that needs to be healed rather than actually healing it, okay? So let's say what happens if you mess up? Okay, ooch, ow. What happens if you do a good job and you actually face into this issue, take full advantage of the weather, the circumstances here in March for you, and you don't get depressed by classic typical 12th house energies, okay? So that would be the prospects and the momentum that leads you into the next heartbeat. So hopefully if this all works out, then it would feed on itself like a positive feedback loop. Let's have a look. Don't be scared. Okay, strength. So to me, Aries, this feels to me like you're getting really, really pulled to the maximum of your abilities to cope. I don't want to scare you, but it feels to me like you're naturally so strong, courageous, and upfront, and you have ways of literally aligning yourself with like the energy of being the noble warrior, which is wonderful up to a point here. But with the Pisces energy, taking it deep into spirit, it's almost like your angels are saying to you, dear Aries, we love you so, so much. You're so beautiful, so awesome, so courageous, setting an example for the rest of us, and that's fantastic. But even you, Aries, are vulnerable, and the only way to rise above that is understand the greater spiritual journey that lies ahead for you, starting this new year cycle, starting next month. And we're here to just let you know it's okay to chill out right now. Take extra aspirin, stay in late, sleep in late, cry your eyes out if you have to, call up a doctor, call up a nurse, call up a friend. Love you first, nurture yourself, love yourself first. As the pathway to a higher spiritual vibrational version of yourself. You don't have to be like an action hero comic in a comic thing. You can be a spiritual warrior hero uh, right here, right now. But we're going to be demanding of you higher frequencies than ever before. It's okay. You can handle it, Aries. Your heart. New starts, new beginning. It's almost like deep down, Aries, you know this is happening. This is your time, and it's a calling, and it is time. This is the moment. The way it feels to me is that this. What's that bumper sticker phrase? Like, the truth shall set you free. That's what I was thinking. This is a moment of liberation for you. As uncomfortable as it might be to live through 12th house, 6th house axis, all about healing, where it's like the great Aries warrior has to actually literally, it's almost like coming back from war and going back to the VA and the veterans places and whatever, and your doctors, and saying, listen, man, I'm really, really beat up. And I openly admit it. You know, I've got chronic PTSD. I'm medicated up to the eyeballs. I'm completely hyperactive. I'm a complete war junkie, and I don't know how to unwind. Please help me. I need to be living in the truth now. I want to start from scratch again, and I see the opportunity here. And I'm humbly coming to you, my dear angels, my dear friends, and all my people in the world, to help me start from scratch again, because I want to do that now. That's what I'm feeling for you, Aries, here with this situation here, where it involves, it's a tremendous act of humility to actually be the courageous warrior and admit that you're in pain and that you hurt, and that sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a wigging out moment here. Sometimes it's okay for you to step back and allow yourself to be healed and to take this opportunity here now. You don't have to be a hero 24/7. You know, heroes need maintenance too. You need you need love and healing just like anybody else. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting all messed up. Okay, with the magician here, Aries, what I'm feeling is that you're fully aware of your capacities, your abilities, your resources. You're fully aware that you have everything around you and that you need in order to do this. And it is almost like turning into a spiritual quest for you. Like, it's so important. It's almost like your soul is saying it's so important to take advantage of the healing opportunities that are here for you now, Aries, right now, and go for it. And there's nothing shameful about that, okay? And you realize that it's almost like probably the most courageous thing that you could do. I'm sorry, Aries. I'm having a really hard time with this reading. So what about the now? So you're being courageous, and you're going to keep going, and you are enduring with whatever you have to endure. In other words, like, there's you accepting and understanding that it's okay, that you can, it's okay if you need to take a break, if you need help, if you need counsel, if you have been fighting the good fight for a year and you're worn out and beat up from having to, like, maintain the posture of the courageous, like, that courageous soul who is like maintaining the good, not just for yourself but for everyone else, against the pressure of, like, the collective, all the doo-doo and mess of the collective. Because it's almost like when things go wrong, people like to look for someone to blame, and they would typically often blame the one who appears the strongest and the most powerful. So you're very vulnerable in that way, okay, Aries? But even you need maintenance and love and tender TLC at times, okay? Damn, I'm having such a hard time. All right, let's have a look at the decisions. Right, so decisions are that, to me, it feels like you want your loved ones at your side. It feels to me that what you want to do is almost like kind of make it official that you want to to me this is sound really weird, but it's kind of like you want to get away from the wars and being upfront and having to be so amazing all the time, and you want to cash in your chips and kind of get married and settle down in terms of a decision making going forward. It's like, coming back from war and saying, you know what, I don't have to be a soldier till the day I die. I've done my time, I've done my service. I want to settle down. I want to have a happy life. I want to be able to share my life with others and others to share their life with me, and I want to make it official. I don't want to have to be just like, constantly on the battlefront here. I deserve new starts, new beginnings, and so on. So how are you going to do that in a way that works for you? Okay. My feeling here is to be very, very careful here on the understanding that thoughts are things. And this may not happen overnight here. The whole idea of so I almost see it like as a coming home party, like a homecoming. What do they call it? A homecoming for you, where let's just say you endure and you get through the March period and you've done your healing and you've enjoyed the benefits of accepting love and healing from others and your surroundings. Then what happens is it gives you a time to pause and realize how incredibly lucky you are. That's how I feel. In that you get to see things from such a broad perspective that not everybody else gets to see. Like, like when Aries is out there doing what Aries does, which is fighting the fights that no one else can fight, that they don't want to fight because they can't handle it. They don't have the skills, they don't have the talents, they don't have the resources, but someone's got to do it. And that's why they call in professional warriors. That's why we have, like in America, we have a very powerful military. Not everybody wants to do what soldiers in the military does, but typically a lot of us are very, very grateful for the benefits of some of the ugly stuff that has to be done in war. But you deserve a break, Aries. You deserve a chance to take a break, deliberately, like it's almost like remove yourself from the battlefront. That's how I'm feeling here. And enjoy the chance to hang out with friends and family and allow yourself to heal. I know there's no traditional healing cards here, but the theme of Tarot Illumination is so heavy, heavy duty on healing. And that's what I'm feeling here. So over on this one, consequentially, it's almost like, oh, relief, relief, relief. The relief that comes from healing when you take the very humble act of saying, I need help. I'm the magnificent Aries and I need help. I see this as a chance. I'm going to take full advantage of the system, so to speak, on the understanding that I've already done a good job and there's more to learn, more to grow, and it's time to become more aligned with spirit, aligned with like having like a more peaceful future. Like what I feel is like friends and family and home, and to be able to share that with your loved ones in ways that you might not have been able to do before, from having to have lived under such duress. And it's time to leave all that behind and just take what counts, because you're going to start all over again in the Aries season coming up. And the only thing that really counts is the love. It's the love that you take with you, okay? That's the most important thing. And moving on to into a place of peace and harmony, because maybe you have unwittingly created a place and environment of peace and harmony. And it was a very long, long, painful battle. And it's now time to enjoy the fruits of your labor and step away from the battlefronts and move more into a place of healing. And that's what's going to come to you by deliberately taking advantage of the healing opportunities that are here right now. Okay. So what if you mess up? What if you deny yourself this opportunity? You deny yourself the love that you deserve. What happens when you honor your decisions, to honor your chance to really kind of get back into the truth of what works for you and give yourself like what I would call like a home life, a love life, a happy life that you can share with your loved ones and your other loved ones can share with you? That's exactly what you get. You get the chance to. Oh gosh, I'm having such a problem with this reading. It's the, when you honor this part of yourself, you get the love that you deserve. It's like giving yourself permission to walk away from the wars, step away from the front lines, and allow yourself to be loved. And that you've fought for that and you've earned that and you deserve that. You don't have to be at war 24/7 for yourself or for everybody else or anyone else. You deserve a break just like anyone else. And what's going to happen is, I don't want to emphasize the pain on this, but I think it's going to be inevitable when you're going to realize how much you missed. It's like the energy of a soldier when they come back and when they realize how much they missed out on life, having to do what has to be done that no one else can do, but someone's got to do it. And it's very, very, very hard for people who are out there on the front lines of life, doing all this amazing, courageous stuff, and then integrating back into ordinary, mundane, regular society where people are all engrossed in their little things, and they don't have to be out there doing the really heavy, dirty work that has to be done sometimes. So when you come back, we're still talking about March season, so we're still talking about the deep love and the healing that can go on here, and you realize how much you missed out and how much you lost and how much pain you had to endure, and that you almost lost sight of the love of what really, really counts, but you're also going to be aware that this is still out there. It's almost like this is like a tiny little catalyst and a little trigger that you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right things for the right reasons, to literally withdraw from the battlefronts, allow the self-love and the self-healing to occur here. And then you repeat the process. Love yourself, allow this to happen, move on into a place of peace and enjoy the love in the home, and celebrate that with your friends and family. It's literally like a homecoming. That's what I see here. And eventually this little Ace of Cups will become more and more apparent and grow and grow and grow in your life. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, Aries. I don't think I can say anymore. I'll just mess it up. You can reinterpret however you want. Okay? I'm just going to leave this here for your reference. And there's your spread. Okay? There's the heart. At the very core. And then there's you in your journey, beat by beat by beat. Okay? Well done, Aries. We love you. Thank you very much for doing what you do for the rest of us. Bye-bye.